Okay, folks, welcome back. And we're going to tackle something a little different today because I'm waiting on something to come in. And it's going to be trees. So we've got we did some trees yesterday and realized I need to see if I can get some bigger magnets. So we got some bigger magnets coming in for trees of this magnitude, even this one. So I'm going to use these trees that we have here, the magnets that I have here, for some of these smaller trees. And of course, we're going to save all that clump foliage, which will be, dry brushed at a later date. And we're going to go ahead and just like this one, we're gonna go ahead and put magnets on all the trees that are of this size that aren't going to be big enough to. The trunk isn't wide enough to take a bigger magnet than these. Okay, so that's what we're going to do tonight until the other magnets come in tomorrow. So, and then we've got some other things that did come in. I ordered some stuff today from the land down under through eBay. I ordered some bricks because I'm going to need a ton of bricks. And I do mean a ton of bricks. I don't even know how many bricks I've got coming. 20,000? Almost 20,000 bricks. I think 10 and then maybe 16,000 bricks. So, and why do I have that many bricks? Am I going to build a wall? I said no, because I want the battlefield to look like, and they're going to be reusable. I don't think I'm going to glue any of them down. It's just going to be like scatter terrain, I think is what you guys call them. And we want it to look something like, even with a clean village like this, there's still rubble and stuff down here at the bottom. And we're going to mix it with other stuff. And we're going to scoop that up, repurpose it every time we play. And but if you need to do something that's really trashed, like this, I'm going to zoom in on part of it. You can see that there's bricks galore there, along with some other materials as well. So, you're going to have a city street that looks, when you blow up a building, all that stuff that is not present on the building has got to go somewhere. So it's going to go on the ground. So that's at least what the plan is. That's thinking ahead. There's no point in having really nice looking buildings and then the terrain doesn't match it. So we're going to give it a go. But I did I talked about this, I got an 8-pack of this stuff. It's cheaper than just going to the store and trying to find it. It's MDF, but only 2 millimeters thick. And why do I have MDF that's only 2 millimeters thick? Because I'm going to put all these buildings on bases. And, it's going to be on a base like this. Obviously every building's going to have a little bit so that you've got some kind of like a sidewalk. And then we can cut this out. And what will happen is I'm going to actually trace the building on here. And then we'll actually paint the inside of the ground here, so you can lift it and you can have combat between these, like there's one room here. Let's see, there's no floor. Okay. There's a room here, and there's a room here, and a room here. And in here they don't connect, which I guess they wouldn't either, but you can do some fighting in there by that. And then, when the turn's over, you put it back down. So, but it's removable. I prefer to have the floor that's individual like that, but that's not how they made these. So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna look like sidewalk. All of them, just like this one. Now I may actually make the back of it match this, but this is like on a corner. And we'll paint this so that it looks like the sidewalk, that sort of thing. So we'll see. This is pretty thin, but that's what I wanted it for. It doesn't need to be super thick. I looked at some pictures, and if there's some kind of a sidewalk, it's not super thick. So that is upcoming, but the bricks need to come in for that. And unfortunately, the bricks are actually from a company called that was recommended by one of my viewers, and it's from Germany, and you can't order directly from them. You have to go through somebody else, and the somebody else was either the UK. There was another vendor that was in Germany, and there was the Australian one. The UK was like they don't want to ship to anybody outside the UK. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't live there, so I had to go with somebody else. So the Australian vendor is actually selling them through eBay. So they didn't have all the colors that I wanted. I really wanted to get the dark red one. So I got a small pack of the dark red and a small pack, I think, of the mixed. And then the large pack of like the medium red. So if I don't like how they are, I can take them to the airbrush to them and spray them. But we're going to have lots of loose bricks, about 20,000 loose bricks. I think that's enough. And like I said, I'm just going to scatter them, where they go on the battlefield. And then when you take everything up, you can scoop them up and put them in little Tupperware or something like that to reuse them. Okay. Now that I've given away all my secrets and how I'm going to go about them, let's get back to doing these trees. Now, I think this is the correct footprint for this. Let's take the back of this and see if it matches. No, it's actually a little bit bigger. Needs to be a little bit bigger, width-wise. This should fit right over it like this, but I actually need to go bigger one. I think that one's too big, or is that the size? That is the size, but unfortunately this won't fit in here. That's what I was doing. I was using this as the pilot hole and then enlarging it. All right. And this is just semi-soft plastic, almost like plastic figures or something like that, Airfix figures. They're just woodland scenic trees. And this will end up getting epoxied in. Once we have the dimensions correct, which means it needs to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm going to end up having to get a bigger pin vise for this. Yeah, there we go. Use the aluminum that's not magnetic. Okay, and that's flush. Yep. There we go. I don't think super glue will work, but you know what? I'll give it a shot. Because that at least will cure quickly. And you don't have to use the old epoxy. Let's see if this works. As soon as I find some super glue, I know I'm not out of it. Here it is. Okay. And then we'll use the back of this. It's aluminum and not magnetic. Okay. All right, now. This is going to be a tight fit in here. Let's make sure this is even up. And put a hole in the center so it can be centered there. There's not going to be much plastic around this thing, as this is like the smallest width-wise trunk that I've seen. Okay, let's not forget let me take some flash off, and of course this will get dry brushed. Both the trunk and the foliage on there. Maybe a little bit deeper. I don't have a... No, I don't. Well, this is a pretty big drill bit. There's no reason I would have had something that would work with this. Here we go. We'll do the same thing with this one. It's a gap filling super glue. Okay. That's the original one. I don't know, all my viewers all of a sudden went all silent and shit. Let's see here. And then let's find the center of this. Oh yeah, this is the chisel that, after a little bit of use, it starts loosening itself out. This one has one of those injection ports. One of those round thingies. This is getting old pretty quick. I'm gonna need to go to the store and get a proper pin vise that'll work on this next size up. Because I got a lot of these trees to do. Let's try something innovative. Something just to get a purchase on this thing. Let's see if that did it. Now, let's do one we've already glued down. Okay, so it seems like the super glue works. Excellent. Okay. I'd rather use super glue than epoxy just because I got to mix up a whole bunch. Let's that. Okay. 4. Okay. Cool, cool. This one's also small. And it's just like the flash on plastic figures. You can't just scrape it. If you scrape it, it gets fuzzy. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It just seems like it's weird. Why would plastic get fuzzy? I don't know. I missed that class. It doesn't make any sense to me either, but it does. It's because it's the plastic that has these rubbery properties to it. Because you can do that on a plastic model kit and it won't do that. But soft plastic, yeah, it's an issue. And these are just trees from Woodland Scenics that I've had, I don't know, 30 years probably. It's actually working okay without a pin vise. Okay. All right. Now, see what else we got here that's in the small department. That little guy. That one. That one. Yeah, we don't want these stupid looking bases on them. Anything that can take the big base, we'll take it putting the big base on it, but there's another one. Yeah, it's all in that bag. Let's knock these out and then we'll push some out of the other one. So we're just going to take this post, we're going to snap these off. Oh, that's a big one. All right, let's start with this one right here. All right. All right, that one's good. Got these injection molding ports there. All right, now start doing the other ones. How did I miss that? This looks pretty well. I don't have to buy a pin vise. I don't have to stop what I'm doing to go buy a pin vise. A bigger pin vise. You go a little bit deeper than that. That fits in there really well. Maybe even without glue. Yep. Oh, let me change the chat. Even though nobody's posted anything, so I don't think it really matters. This is metal, I think, right? Yep. So if you have something underneath the terrain mat, like this, that won't. I bet that was the one that wasn't super glued down. That's correct. Okay, and now we'll go a little deeper with this one. I'm going to have to get. I'm going to have to get a pin vise anyways because the bigger trunks are coming. They've got wider these, so if this one doesn't fit in, the next size up isn't going to fit in there either. Need to hit that on the way home tomorrow because the magnet should be here tomorrow. And I'm definitely not putting these on bases. Those small bases these come with, I'm definitely not doing it. I don't know if this is going to work what I have planned, but I'm certainly not going to go back to how they used to be because it just looks distractingly bad. I know everybody uses it that way, but I don't want this to clutter up the look of it. Yep, perfect. 2 more? 2 more of these. All right, I'm done with this. I'm gonna put this off to the side. That's the one we need to take with us to make sure the shank fits on there. And we're gonna pick this up tomorrow, hopefully with a new pin vise. But I just don't have one that's big enough to take this bigger size one. But anyways, thanks for stopping by, folks, and we'll see